Hello weebs and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be talking about why I believe investing in Weiss Schwarz sealed product is just an unnecessary risk. It's not worth it in my opinion. There are way better alternatives out there that you should be investing in from a pure financial and investment perspective. Just even if it's TCGs, there's plenty of other TCGs that have way less downside risk than Weiss Schwarz does. So there's two reasons why I believe that's the case, and one is it is print to pre-order. So as a set comes out, immediately it meets the demand. The supply meets the demand straight away on that release. Not only that, but each set is its own unique IP, and that in itself creates this weird situation where just because an IP is popular when it is released, it does not mean long-term that IP is going to hold its popularity. In fact, most anime series, which is mainly what Weiss Schwarz is based off of, they actually decline in popularity, generally speaking, after the first season. The first season is normally the most popular. So if you were to buy a sealed Weiss Schwarz product on release, if you were to buy a case purely to invest in, essentially what you're hoping happens is that this IP that you're buying into actually gains popularity long term, and you're also hoping that as that set releases, the demand is low and it's actually not that popular, which in itself is rare. It's a hard thing to do. Like, Weiss Schwarz don't want to make sets that aren't popular. They don't want to bring out a set and they don't get many pre-orders, because why would that defeats the whole point of them running a business and making these cards. They want every set to be successful and to sell lots. So sometimes that does happen. If we look at Tokyo Revengers from last year, that set didn't have a massive print run. People didn't order lots of this, and lots of people weren't opening this product. It wasn't a general Weiss Schwarz sort of community favorite set. If anything, it was one of the most unpopular English sets from that year, and I think the prices and when it came out reflects that. I struggled to even find one particular card in the UK, and I know it's mainly US where all these cards are, but the fact that I literally couldn't find a single person selling one of the TVR Tokyo Revengers cards in the UK, I think that says a lot. So realistically, you'd be hoping that the set comes out and later down the line gains even more popularity to the point where people want to come back and grab the old set and pick up booster boxes or cards from that old set. Now, you also have to bear in mind the fact that Weiss Schwarz will reprint sets. We had Attack on Titan final season come out and they reprinted Attack on Titan Volume 1 and Volume 2, which I believe were about 8 years old at the time. So that is an 8-year-old set they've gone back, reprinted. Not only that, they didn't change the signatures. I know for a lot of sets going forward at the moment, they are changing the gold signatures to silver signatures. So at least you have that way to identify like a first edition and then a second edition print run for reprints. But it has, you know, they've done it. They've done it with Attack on Titan. The texture was slightly different, but to start with, it was assumed these were literally identical reprints. And to be honest with you, I believe they were intended to be completely identical reprints. So you also have to hope that that doesn't happen. If you did get lucky and bought a set that was not that popular on release, gains popularity later down the line, you also have to hope that they don't do another set and go and reprint that first set. In my opinion, that is way too many hurdles to jump over just for a sealed TCG investment. If you compare that to something like Pokemon, where you can literally pick any set from the Sword and Shield era that only recently ended, and none of those sets are below retail price. It makes no sense if it's purely financial investment and financial gain. It makes no sense to put all of that money into Weiss Schwarz rather than something else like Pokemon. Quite often at the moment, there have been a fair amount of Weiss Schwarz sets that drop below retail in terms of sealed boxes. So in my opinion, it is just not worth that risk. yes, perhaps 5-10 years down the line, all of these sets are quite likely to be safe, but quite a lot of that would come down to relying on Weiss Schwarz to continue to grow in popularity in 5 to 10 years, which I believe is easily possible for them. But again, you're also relying on these IPs to be still popular and still in demand 5-10 years from now. It is actually quite common in the anime community for series that have come out in the past and when they came out were extremely popular. It seems to be a very sort of edgy, unpopular, cultured opinion to now clown on those series that once were great, but compared to modern day series that are coming out now, they obviously don't hold up as well. And for some reason, a lot of people like to clown on series. Sword Art Online is a perfect example. A lot of people would just clown on anyone who says they enjoy and like Sword Art Online. But when that came out, it was massively popular and a lot of people in the anime community absolutely loved it. I'm seeing the same thing with Attack on Titan now. So many people loved Attack on Titan. It was such a popular anime when season 1 and season 2 was out, and now it's nearing its end. I see so many people online giving their hot take that Attack on Titan's actually a really rubbish show, and I just see a lot of people clowning on these popular shows to make themselves look like they're edgy and they're cultured because they like this obscure anime that normies don't like. So even if we say like Chainsaw Man comes out, and it will be a popular set because it is a popular anime, but down the line 5, 10, 15 years, do we think people are going to start clowning on Chainsaw Man because it was such a popular anime? Despite that, obviously Chainsaw Man isn't going to be underprinted. A lot of people are going to be ordering this anyway, so it's not even like it's going to have a low print run anyway. So as you can see, navigating sealed Weiss Schwarz sets is just really hard. I think things like the Japanese exclusives, if you're talking about Disney, Marvel, Pixar, I think they're kind of their own separate thing. Maybe I should do a video at some point addressing what I think about them, because I do think they're kind of like their own sub branch of Weiss Schwarz. They are looked at differently as they are not anime sets. They have a different audience as well, so that is something to bear in mind. But this video is mainly about the typical English current Weiss Schwarz sets that get released. Now, I know some people want to invest in things that they love and enjoy, so me saying don't bother investing in Weiss Schwarz, invest in Pokemon, might not be for you. You might not like Pokemon, you might love Weiss Schwarz, and that is why you want to invest in something that you have more of an attachment to. And I understand that, but I still think if you're buying sealed product for like 90% investing purposes, then you need to take that into account and think, is this actually a good thing to invest in? Is this product worth investing in? What are the downside risks? And in my opinion, those risks are far too high to justify buying sealed cases, because let's be honest, sealed Weiss Schwarz cases aren't cheap. They're costing at least £1,000 or $1,000 per set. So it's not like you can realistically buy just one loose booster box and keep that on display or tuck it away somewhere, because obviously with mapping, it's not a good idea to buy just a loose box if you're trying to invest in that. When it comes to selling it, no one will believe that is not a dead box. So unfortunately, the barrier to entry is quite high, relying on you buying a sealed case. So with that said, if you feel differently, let me know in the comments. I'll be really interested to hear your guys' ideas and opinions on the matter. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.